Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Tuesday, May 30th. I'm your host, Kate Walker. At least 16,000 people have been evacuated from their homes as wildfires spread across the province today.
We're looking at that evacuation area and determining whether or not we can reduce that boundary. I want to be very clear, this is still dependent on fire conditions, which can change at any moment. A final decision, though, will be made. It is our intent to announce by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning if areas can be removed from the evacuation order, and then we can work out a way to return people to their homes in those areas.
We're going to go first to Upper Tantallon this morning, where the weather overnight kept the fire from growing, but there was a real concern that conditions would deteriorate today with lots of heat ahead and little to no rain.
The heat from the sun is going to start to change the situation on the ground. We are expecting a bit of a weather shift today, so winds are going to be coming out of the southwest, sustained at 15, gusting to 30. And basically what that means is we are going to be expecting some level of possible significant fire behavior this afternoon.
RCMP warned people about heavy smoke conditions on Highway 103 near Exit 5 into Tantallon. A special air quality statement was also issued by Environment Canada due to the heavy smoke, hazy skies, and reduced visibility. The focus today was on structures and putting out hot spots. We know around 200 homes or structures have been damaged.
I can tell you that firefighters from the line have reported both partial damage to structures and complete destruction of structures where only a foundation is remaining. It's going to take us considerable time to make sure that we have all that information gathered together. We're going to plot it and put it into our geographic information services so that we have the precise location and civic address of each and every damaged property.
A province-wide ban on all burning has been put in place until June 25th or until conditions improve.
Effective at 4 p.m. today, all travel and activity within Nova Scotia's woods is banned. Travel and activity in our woods is banned. We're going to stop the travel. We have to do what we can to make sure we don't have any new fires popping up. So this includes hiking, camping, fishing. Use of off-highway vehicles. It applies to forestry, it applies to mining, it applies to commercial activity on Crown lands.
The good news is there have been no reports of missing people or injuries. While there is an urgency to get people evacuated from their homes who live close to the wildfire, there's also an abundance of support for their pets and other animals. Amy Wells has been coordinating pet rescues with the Department of Natural Resources and Renewables inside the evacuation zone with a community Facebook group.
So we have DNR who escorts animal services, and animal services, they're the ones, they do the trapping. It's what they do every day. They're pros. They'll climb through your tiny screen window just to get to your animal. They're fantastic.
Sarah Lyon with the Nova Scotia SPCA said today that since Sunday night, they've had more than 100 animal intakes, 90 of those at the SPCA and the others are at Bide a While.
Today we are working with the Department of Natural Resources. We have a list. People should call the SPCA if they are worried about their animals that they have left behind or weren't able to get to, and we are trying to get to all of those homes.
Private kennels and vet hospitals have also been opening their doors to displaced pets. Most of the animals have been cats and dogs, one guinea pig and one actual pig. Meantime, in Shelburne County, that wildfire continues to burn out of control and has now covered more than 10,000 hectares.
We've evacuated about 1,500 households, and we're estimating that could be between 2,000 to 2,500 people. So that's all residents of the municipality of Barrington from the Clyde River, Port Clyde, all the way to exit 30 or Downey's Brook, Downey's River area.
50 DNR firefighters, 40 volunteer firefighters, 3 DNR helicopters, and 2 water bombers from Newfoundland and Labrador were on scene today.
This here is going to the firemen, grab-and-go bags. We've delivered, oh my gosh, well over 300 now.
The province says some structures have been destroyed and others are threatened, but there are no concrete numbers just yet. We still don't know the exact cause of the fire, but we do know from fire crews that it has to do with human activity, as there has been no lightning in the area. While the weather may not be the direct cause, it certainly plays a large factor in whether or not things will get worse. As mentioned earlier, a special air quality statement was issued, and there was lots of talk on which way the wind blows and how the direction of the wind plays a big role. For more on this, we're going to go to our weather specialist, Allister Aalders.
Yeah, Kate, of course, the weather fueling these fires in Nova Scotia, but we're also talking about a reduction of air quality thanks to winds and the amount of smoke that these fires are producing. That's why we have the special air quality statement from Shelburne County into HRM, just because the volume of smoke from these fires is reducing the air quality out there. And as we take a look at a smoke model, which really maps out how this smoke will linger over the western half of the province over the next 24 hours, you can see we have the three kind of main out-of-control fires right now: the Upper Tantallon fire, the Barrington Lake fire, and the East Pubnico fire. And you can see that this model does a really good job showing the shift in wind over to southwest, blowing that smoke in an east-northeast direction from the Barrington Lake fire. Now, I want to note that with the East Pubnico and Upper Tantallon fires, you're not seeing these large plumes because we haven't had a lot of smoke activity, a very dense smoke activity recorded today. So the model doesn't know how to handle these fires. It's really going to depend on what conditions were like today and how conditions progress through the overnight and tomorrow, but certainly smoke possible downwind of these fires as we go over the next several days. And as we take a look at the winds, which are of course crucial too, we had a southwesterly wind develop today. As we head into the evening, still gusting up to 30-40 kilometers per hour. Now, winds do become light as we go through the evening and overnight hours, which is good news, but tomorrow we could see some local smoke once again. And as we go into the afternoon, that southerly southwest wind will gust up to 30-40 kilometers per hour across much of the province, including in the HRM and along the South Shore. It is not until Thursday when winds will become light across really most of the province. However, that's also going to be the hottest day of the week when much of the province could climb into the high 20s and low 30s. So we do need to keep a very close eye on that. Finally, I just want to show you the humidity tracker because that's a factor too. The air mass is very dry and it will remain dry as we really go over the next 24 hours. You can see there's not a lot of moisture in the air. As we go into Thursday, we start to see some changes, a bit more moisture showing up, and then really the relief comes later Friday into Saturday when rain is possible in the forecast. I'll touch on that coming up.
Thank you, Allister, and we'll check back in with him in the weather section. It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Ashley Mitchell, the Director of Service Delivery for 211 Nova Scotia, on how they can help in the aftermath of the wildfires.
And I won't say that I was surprised to see information about wildfire support services, but when we have natural disasters or issues like that, do you see a change to the call volume?
I would say specific to kind of what we're dealing with today is these wildfires. How can 211 help? Mm-hmm. There's lots of information online on the government sites about places that are who's been evacuated and even where the comfort stations are, and we can provide that information. But what we can also do is help to support the basic needs in the meantime. So there are, folks at comfort stations thinking, I didn't bring a sweater. It's getting chilly outside. I need my medications. Where am I going to go and find those? How do I get those now? Things like Ensure or adult diapers. These kind of needs that people may not have been thinking about when they were being evacuated. Those types of things, I think it's important for folks to know that right now they can reach out to 211, and we are here to help support and find programs to assist.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of SaltWire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
Wildfires have ravaged communities across this region and affected many lives. One of those affected is Alfie West, a lacrosse player. Alfie, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm appreciating the fact that you're able to take the time to speak with me. You play for the Sports Wheels Wolves, team based in Sackville, but you've been affected by these wildfires that are going on. How did you find out about them?
I was actually playing a game for my team at the Sackville Arena, and we had just finished the game, and the team was walking back into the dressing room, and the captain of my team came in and told me that I had to rush out because I had to get home to go pack stuff. And right as I was putting my shoes on after I got all my gear off, that's when the first emergency alert came out on everybody's phones.
Your team tonight having a game against the St. Margaret's Bay Rebels, 50 draw, proceeds going to help those in need. What does that mean to you to know that you and your team are doing something to help?
It was amazing for me to hear when my coaches told us that we were putting all of that money towards the relief system. It felt great because I knew how many people within the league and in general were going to be affected by it. So the fact that we're stepping up to do something that valuable really means a lot to me.
For my full conversation with Alfie, check out the video at saltwire.com, also on our SaltWire YouTube channel. In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now to see what's coming up in the forecast. We're going to check back in now with our weather specialist, Allister Aalders.
Hi again, Kate. Well, it was a nice day in HRM. However, we did have smoky and hazy conditions in parts of the region because of the wildfire smoke from the upper Tantallon fire. Winds were so light this morning, we had a bit of an inversion and really just allowed smoke to be visible and really to be smelled across parts of HRM. Now, as we go through the next 24 hours, we could see further smoke from the Tantallon fire and the Barrington Lake fire in our skies. So it's mainly clear tonight, but some local smoke possible. The temperature this evening near 10 degrees and then rising from 7 tomorrow morning. However, inland it could get down to 5 or 4 degrees, so a risk of frost. Mainly sunny, a bit of local smoke possible, mainly sunny throughout the day. 26 degrees the high tomorrow, except 18 along parts of the coast. That's where you will find relief from the hot temperatures. And as we take a look at the 7-day forecast, we have that local smoke possible tomorrow. We'll have to see how the fire behaves to see if that continues into Thursday. But it could get up to 31 inland on Thursday. It will be cooler directly in the city and along the coast, but we're into the low 30s on Thursday. Chance of showers, risk of thunderstorms Friday still mild, and then we drop behind a cold front on Saturday. It's looking more likely that we could see some more widespread showers, which is the best case scenario with this cold front on Saturday. Chance of showers Sunday. Cool next week, generally near to below seasonal values, but really no more rain in the forecast besides what's coming later Friday and into Saturday. Kate.
Thank you, Allister. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to saltwire.com. And you can find us on social media. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Turn off the noise. Tune in to what matters. What matters is information you can trust. What matters is the news you can use to make life's big decisions. Informed healthcare choices, casting the smart vote, or opening that business. What matters is understanding the world around you. Let SaltWire connect you to what matters with unlimited access to the information you need for only $20 for the first year. Become a member today.